Hey everyone, welcome to the best U.S. Mint news channel on YouTube. I'm Son of a Silver Stacker. Today's date is the 9th of October, 2025, and in this video, we're going to be talking about U.S. Mint sales. Why? Because they're vital to numismatists, flippers, and investors to determine demand and mintages. Now, we're also going to be talking about some other stuff that's going on that is definitely got to be talked about, got to be discussed. But before any of that, though, if you're new here, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. We're trying to get to a bazillion subs. It's actually a really big number. In fact, you can look it up on the Google machine. It's ginormous. Also, we're always live, never edited, and always unscripted. I never know what I'm not going to say. Now, have you seen the spot prices? Have you seen the premiums? Oh boy, you won't even believe your eyeballs. And it was just a couple days ago that the folks over at Money Metals raised their premium to like $7.39 or $7.89. Well, now we're at $9.89 for American Silver Eagle. That's 1 ounce round. And look at that. The item total is almost near $60, like I said it would be. That is incredible, folks. So gold's down $2.45 to 40.5605. Silver up 69 cents to 49.78. Yeah. Will we be at $50 by the end of the week? Today's Thursday. Platinum up 17.70 to 16.88 even Steven. Palladium up 43.65. Did you see that? To 15.09.85. And Dr. Copper up a dime to $5.18 per pound. Now, you're looking at in-stock American Silver Eagle, whose premium is $9.89. And you remember during the pandemic, it was about $16 to $17 to $18. So this, while it looks amazing, we got down to about $6.39 and change. This is still fairly low, comparatively speaking. What are you comparing it to? Well, the pandemic, right? That's what we're comparing it to. So for quantity of 1 through 39, they got you paying, 35 cents less than $60 for one bullion strike American Silver Eagle. That is incredible, folks. Remember when the uncirculated dollar sold from the United States for like $54? Yeah, we're way beyond that now. Can't even tell you. Also, guess what? Yeah, over here at AppMex, check this out. This is the 2025 1 ounce American Silver Eagle coin BU, brilliant uncirculated. And look at some of their action over here. Yeah, look at that credit card PayPal payment for a quantity of 1 through 19. They got you paying $61.60. 61.60. That is incredible. Also, check this out. Here we are, the bullion sales for the United States Mint. I don't know why I did that. There we go. Hello, how are you? Good to see you. Yep, 2025 American Eagle sales. We got gold and silver. And the silver is what we're going to be looking at here. The United States Mint has made 9.3 million of those American Silver Eagles here for 2025. Now, will they get past 10 million? Yeah, they might break that threshold, but that's about it. But if they did, they'd have to make 300,000 for the rest of the year for each remaining month, October, November, and December, because we already have September's number. So October, November, December need 300,000, and that will get us to 900,000 over that 10 million threshold. That is incredible, folks. What is going on? Now, check this out. I put in silver shortage in the Google machine, and it says here, yeah, a significant silver shortage exists due to increasing demand from industrial applications like solar panels and EVs, combined with stagnant or declining mine production and limited recycling. The market has experienced a deficit for several years since 2019, if I can remember right, for several years, with global demand consistently exceeding supply. Yeah, remember they were always talking about supply deficit? That just means there's a shortage, and they can use any words they want, but really, you know the deal. And projections indicate this trend will continue. Yeah, that's right. This imbalance has led to lower physical inventories, higher premiums on silver products, and concerns about long-term availability of the metal. That is incredible, folks. So we got soaring industrial demand, stagnant mine production, limited recycling. Here we go. Look at this persistent deficit. The global silver market has been in a supply deficit since at least 2019, meaning more silver is consumed than produced each year. And that is why we were like $15, $16 silver way back in 2019, and we're at $50 now, coming up on $60 for an American Silver Eagle. Declining physical inventories. Yeah, this ongoing deficit is draining above ground silver stockpiles, making silver harder to find. Now, imagine if silver is harder to find, and eventually, well, it'll become unobtainium, whatever that means, right? You can't find it anywhere. And if you do, guess what the price will be? Whatever they want it to be. That's right. Rising premiums. Then we saw that today. $9.89 over there at Money Metals. Premiums on silver products have increased, reflecting the growing cost of acquiring physical metals. That's right. So Are they raising this because they have to pay more? Absolutely. That's exactly why. Now, the buyback. Let's get to the buyback. Yeah, look at that, $50.71. It's important for them to get those now, right? Remember, we were under the silver spot price for at least 3 or 4 days. So, yeah, 50.71 each, and the spot now is 49.79. And that's not the whole story, folks, because there's more. Yeah, check this out. I went to the Google machine and I put penny rounding, and looks like Quick Trip has now implemented a new policy where they are rounding. That's right, they're rounding. No more cents. It makes no sense for them to keep taking the penny if there's no pennies in circulation, right? That's exactly what's going on. And what's funny is, if I go forward here, actually, let's see here. I think there was another article, may not have. Yeah, retailers start to see penny shortages. Quick Star stores adopting penny-free policy, rounding down totals, and I'm sure the people in our government are going to be like, "Hey, we need a law. There needs to be something done," and they're going to call for a law that says either round down or round up. So think about that. Look at this. I thought this was a really wild. It's no wonder our society seems so, well, I don't want to say violent, but gosh, look at the way the reporters talk about few mourn the U.S. penny as Trump moves to, you know what, yow, what is going on? Yeah, that's maybe just a reason why a lot of people are so, well, that way they are, right? Let's keep on keeping on. That's a social commentary that I can save for another day, maybe a live stream. So guess what happens tomorrow, folks? That's right. The 250th anniversary of the United States Navy American Eagle comes out. There it is. And it is going to be a big deal. And I think our contact said there was about 89,000, maybe 87,000 of these going to be dropped to the general public tomorrow at noon. Yeah, that's right. The mintage limit is 100,000. Product limit of 100,000. Household order limit here is 1. And remember the video I showed you? Remember this? Yeah, look at that. It's a W. No, it's not. It's an S. It really is. It's an S. I'm telling you. That's what the mint says. And that's what I'm going with. Even though it says Navy here and W there, I think it's just kind of a fill-all for the reverse on that one. And that's okay. I guess it makes them spend less money. But I think this is going to be a big deal coin. Maybe not as, you know, in the beginning of the year, I saw that the Marine Corps was out of Philadelphia. And I was like, oh, well, that's going to be the one. That's going to be a very special American Silver Eagle because, what did I just delete? It's going to be a very special coin because out of Philadelphia, the United States Mint hasn't struck any American Silver Eagles since the year 2000. They went from 1993 to 2000, and after 2000, there was no American Silver Eagles that are in proof finish from the Philadelphia Mint. So I was like, well, that's got to be the one, right? Well, now that the United States Mint is doing what they're doing to the San Francisco Mint, and we don't really know exactly what's going on with the San Francisco Mint. There's a lot of talk of it closing or scuttling and selling for the land or whatever the value is of that land. But we really honestly don't know what's going on there. And when we do find out, maybe then this particular coin will be worth even more. But as it stands now, you saw what happened to that American Silver Eagle out of San Francisco that had no privy mark. Yeah, sold out remarkably fast. Now, we're going to be going over some sales here. And, well, you wouldn't believe what happened to that particular coin. And remember the bulk folks just loaded up on it. Well, looks like they sent a bunch back, or the Mint misreported the numbers. So let's get into that here in a second. Also, we have a live stream going on tomorrow at 11:40 a.m. Hopefully we will see you there. Now, all right, this is coinnews.net. This is by Mike Unser, dated October 8th. That is just yesterday. Title of this article is U.S. Mint Sales. Batman Silver Medals placed 3rd and 4th in first full week. There you go. There's the Batman Gold coin and the Batman, because it has a date there, that is the 2.5 ounce silver medal. The other one that doesn't have a date, like actual year on it, well, that's the silver 1 ounce, right? All right, here we go. Batman-themed silver medals in their first full week on sale following their September 25th launch placed 3rd and 4th among the U.S. Mint's weekly top sellers, trailing 2 much earlier releases, the uncirculated, oh, look at that, the July 17th release of the Mint set. Yeah, that's number 1, and the flagship American Silver Eagle from West Point, New York. That came out on January 9th. So that's amazing that the sales are that strong. In second place there, and then the first place is the Mint set. Why is the Mint set important this year? Well, that Kennedy half dollar, it's left facing, west facing. That's the last portrait that looks like that that's going to be on a Kennedy half dollar. Next year, the Kennedy won't even be on it, and then he'll make his reappearance in 2027. However, the heraldic eagle on the reverse is gonzo. You won't see that one anymore, all right? So it says overall sales reflected steady week-over-week growth. Though no product showed an eye-popping gains. I was right, nothing really like, whoa, look at that, that's incredible. Well, it's not true because I think the uncirculated set is still eye-popping, but that's my opinion. That's their opinion. A common pattern when no major new launches are introduced to boost interest. They're boosting interest. I love that. That's a way to talk about it. More notable was the number of products that saw downward adjustments. Here we go. Remember, I think they're doing this because they're getting ready for that yard sale on Cyber Monday. In total, 30 products declined, including 2 with sizable reductions. And there they are. Look at this. The Proof Morgan Silver Dollar and the Proof Peace Dollar. These came out on September 11. It's October 9. Okay? Yeah, a month ago. And they're down 9,391 for the Morgan Dollar and 8,066 pickup sticks for the Peace Silver Dollar. That is incredible, folks. Also lower for a third straight week was the 2025 West Point $100 American Liberty Gold coin slipping 52 to 11,011 after previous drops of 909 and 3. Oh, here we go. Check this out. This is a big deal this year, folks. The silver proof set and the proof set. I mean, I can't even tell you how important this really is. It is remarkable. There's hardly any of them out there in the wild anymore, and how many of them have been cannibalized, right, to pick out that Kennedy half dollar or even that Lincoln cent. Think about it. What is a total, complete silver proof set or even proof set going to be worth? And I really would hope that, there would be a website you could actually go to, like a portal where you could be like, yeah, I broke open 6 silver proof sets to get to the Kennedy half dollar. And then they take the total, right, of the 113,797 and they minus that, however many got opened up and cracked open and graded. Wouldn't that be fantastic? So we kind of have an idea of how many are left in the wild that are actually complete sets. There should be kind of a repository of that information where numismatists and flippers and investors could go to actually do that. That would be fantastic. Thank you very much. All right, it says here also lower for the third week. I talked about that, the 2025 silver proof set. Now here we go with the U.S. Mint's weekly top sellers. Below is the roster of U.S. Mint's most sought after numismatic products for the week ending October 5th. Today's the 9th, so it's 4 days ago. All right, look at that. The 2025 Mint set number 1 sold 2,338 to 158,704. And remember, this is important, there's only 190,000 of those, and they could make only 188 or 187, right? So we don't know exactly how much it is from the stated product limit, but they are getting, well, less and less each week. I mean, if you think about that, that's almost 10,000 a month. That is incredible. Number 2 spots, that West Point Proof Silver Eagle sold 1,643 to 230,117. And really, that's not that great of a number. That really isn't, because typically we see 400,000 of those sold in a year. Yeah, that's right. That's the flagship. Now, the number 3 spots, the Batman 2.5 ounce silver medal sold 1,137 to 6,094. I don't think that's going to hold up. I think that's going to go down. Number 4 is the Batman 1 ounce silver medal sold 1,121 to 7,839. And if we compare and contrast those to the Superman medals, yeah, it's actually a pretty vast difference. I didn't say vast difference. I said vast difference. There's a difference. Now, number 5 is the 2025 P Proof U.S. Marine Corps 250th Anniversary Silver Dollar. Yeah, look at that. Wait a minute. What? We're already at the 5th spot and we're below 4 digits. We're below 1,000. Yeah, things really slowed down, or did they? Yeah, this is really interesting, actually, because typically a really hot month, you're seeing 4-digit numbers all the way in the 8th and 9th place. Maybe they'll even add an 11th spot on there when things are really cooking over there at the United States Mint. Now, number 6 is the Superman 1 ounce silver medal, sold 433. That's paltry. That isn't very good. All right, number 7 is the uncirculated peace dollar, sold 429. Number 8 spots is the 2025 American Innovation Dollar Proof Set, sold 412. That's not a whole lot of. All right, in the uncirculated silver eagle, this was, I think, the biggest dud of the year so far, and I think the mint wasn't really forthcoming enough with the information about the mintages with these, because the product limit and the stated product limit and the mintage limit were the same, even though they weren't. Right? They said it was 90,000 on there, and a lot of us, including myself, were like, "Well, that's kind of low. That's not so bad, right?" But yeah, that wasn't really the case because they've sold over 90,000 of those, including the bulk sales. Number 10 spots, the 2024 S Proof Silver Eagle. And I would imagine, folks, I would imagine if the proof set and the silver proof set were still available, they would fall somewhere in between these top 6 here that you see here in front of you today. Now, in its latest report, the Mint published sales data for 602 numismatic products. 4 products saw week-over-week gains of more than 1,000 units. Wait a minute, what? The same as previously. So yeah, it's for this week, for last week, of gains more than 1,000. So yeah, it's kind of, that's the way it is. Now, U.S. Mint sales momentum picked up with 106 products surpassing their previous gains, up from 114 the prior week. So yeah, it slowed down a little bit there. As noted, 13 products showed weekly declines, up from 12 in the previous report. Like I said, I think they're getting ready for the yard sale on Cyber Monday. Now, here we go with U.S. Mint sales, numismatic products. Here we go with the 2025 commemorative coins. And did you see the video that the United States Mint put out just yesterday? Yeah, they were talking about the 3 coins. I think they're all proof versions in that U.S. Marine Corps 250th anniversary 3-coin proof set. Incredibles, beautiful stuff there. Look at this here. This is the proof silver dollar, sold 1.21% more than they had here for the old sales, right? That's incredible. A 1.505% increase right there for the uncirculated silver dollar. Yeah, look at that, 44,000. That's incredible. And you see here the silver dollar here sold 34,000. The Harriet Tubman silver dollar sold 21,000. Clearly, this is a winner chicken dinner commemorative coin program this year. I think, and I remember the first time I'd seen this was in January of 2025 at the Fun Show in Orlando, and it just was the most amazing 3-coin proof set I had seen in a while. It just stood out like, wow, look at that. Now here we go with the Morgan and Peace silver dollars. Look at that. These are struck on commemorative planchets. Okay, it's like 858 or 898 of an ounce. So it's not a whole ounce of silver, which is kind of a bummer in the summer. Wouldn't that be cool? But if they were 90%, wouldn't that be cool? Like with some other metals in there, I think that would be awesome. Like the old school ways with a business strike. Yeah, give me some business strike proof Morgan, or not proof Morgan dollars, but Morgan and Peace dollars. So yeah, look at that. This came out on September 11, and we're getting these adjustments here. That is incredible. And if you think about it, if you look at these numbers, typically we see the Morgan and Peace dollars outselling the flagship American Silver Eagles. But looks like after these adjustments, not so much. Look at that, 429 of the uncirculated Peace silver dollar. Wonder why that one's outselling the uncirculated Morgan. Look at that. That is incredible. Big difference there. Let's keep on keeping on. Coin art and comic art coin and metals. Here we go. This is important. All right, look at the proof Superman gold coin lost 16. What? Yeah. Imagine the price when it first dropped and the price now. I'll tell you, that is incredible. And people were complaining about the price then. And now look at it. Look at the Batman coin. What are they going to sell that for? And that's not going to do well for this program. These high premiums and these high, sky high precious metal prices. And then you got the licensing fees. It is just bad timing all the way around. They could have done this back in 2019, 2018, 2020, and it probably would have been way more successful than what we're seeing here today. But look at the numbers here. 13.5% there for the Batman gold coin. That's incredible. Look at that, 22, almost 23% there for the 2.5 ounce silver medal, and almost 17% for that 1 ounce silver medal. But look at the numbers here, 28,000 for the 1 ounce. All right, here we go, 7,000. Look at that. It's a 25%, maybe just a little bit over, of the 1 ounce silver medal. Then you got 13,000 of the 2.5 ounce, and that's half right there, 6,094, and then 5,899 compared to 1,800 on that Batman gold coin. Yeah, sales just hit a brick wall, no doubt about it. Even though they're showing these increases, I'd like to see what we're going to see next week, because I think they're going to be negative again. 25th anniversary Sacagawea golden dollar. I still love that coin. Latest sales, they sold 1. Whoever got that, oh, they are stoked. All right, let's keep on keeping on. Look at this Armed Forces silver medal. Looks like Navy beat Army, and Navy beat Air Force and the Marine Corps there at 43.80. Solid. Navy is always doing great. My grandpa was in the Navy, and yeah, I remember he still had his uniform. I remember he tried to get into it one time when he was like 60 or so. He's a different person then. Couldn't fit. American Liberty products, yeah, they lost 52 of the American Liberty gold coins. That's right. Look at that. negative 52. Now the total stands at 11,011. Now look at this. The American Liberty Silver Medal stated product limit and stated mintage was 60,000, although, yeah, they didn't even get to halfway at 30,000. They came close, but no cigar, and we lost one on that one, and that is incredible. That's the Sunflower with the B on it, right? Clad-proof sets, here we go. Look at that. Another loss for the clad-proof sets, 304,728. Look, this is a big year for coins, folks. It really is. I've said consistently for years now that the proof sets, the annual sets at the United States mints, they're going down and to the right. That's where the graph and the chart is going. The mintages are going lower and lower each and every single year. Look at the 2017, 568, 517 for the 2018. An anomaly here, right there, 2019, 601. And I think that was because of the Lincoln cent from West Point, New York. That was amazing. And then 2020, 464,000. And then they jumped it up a little bit for 2021. And then it just hit another brick wall, 400,002 for 2022. If they lose two, there'd be 400,000 even Steven. If they lose three, we'll be at 399. But now here for 2023, they don't sell those anymore, 369. 2024, 355. And now, no sales at all, just negative adjustments here, 304,728 for the clad-proof sets. And wouldn't it be cool, like I said, some kind of repository of information of how many of those clad-proof sets and silver-proof sets have been cracked open? That would be fantastic. Thank you. All right, let me keep mentioning that. Maybe somebody will do that for us. Who knows? Maybe ANA, maybe PCGS, maybe NGC. They could get together and talk about it. Who knows? Now, look at this 2025 American Innovation Dollars proof set sold 412, almost a 1% increase there. If they would have sold 480, yeah, that'd have been a 1% right there. But yeah, not so bad there. Not so bad. The silver-proof sets, yep, they lost again. Silver-proof set from 2024 also lost. But look at that. We are sub 114,000 on a silver-proof set. And with all the hype and stuff going on, yours truly, your humble narrator here, yeah, I didn't pick one of those up. I will be picking up the limited edition silver-proof set that comes out, I think, November 9 or so, and that will feature the Kennedy half dollar that's selling for over $200 and a proof 70. Can you believe it? That's the majority of the set. The set costs $255. At least it does for now, anyway. I mean, the United States Mint could come out next day, tomorrow, Monday, whatever, and say, well, we looked at our prices and we determined that silver should be priced at X dollars now instead of this. And what would really help all of that make sense? Yeah, a silver pricing grid. How about that? A price grid for silver. Like if it hits this, then it's this. Just like they do for their precious metal chart. Well, wait a minute. Their precious metal chart doesn't have silver on it, which makes you wonder, do they think silver's not a precious metal? I digress. Let's keep on keeping on. Look at the 2021 silver-proof set, sold 46. Where'd those come from? Number 104 here for the congratulations gift set. Yeah, remember when those were like in the 40,000s? Yeah, and then they added they got rid of the actual congratulations set in the paper product, and they put it in a clamshell this year. Yeah, not really a hit. It's kind of incredible, right? And that's something. It's just different packaging. It's just basically a West Point proof American Silver Eagle in a different packaging. Congratulations to the mint right there. 86 were sold of the limited edition silver proof set. I wonder why. U.S. Mint uncirculated set sold 2,338 for a 1.5% even Steven increase to 158,704. Like I said, stated product limit 190,000. Those are going to go quick. Ornaments, let's keep on keeping on. Proof and reverse proof silver eagles. Look at this. These laser engraved silver eagles. So somebody commented, and I was like, oh, maybe. And then I'm like, no. And then I'm like, well, it could be. What if, now this is a big one, and I probably shouldn't even say anything, but what if Mint employees are doing something to the coins? They're like, oops, I dropped it. You know what I mean? Like, uh-oh, oh no, what are they doing over there? But look at this. The San Francisco proof silver eagle, the bulk 40 coins there. Yeah, 40. Lost 23 of those bulk actions. Yeah, 23 times 40. Yeah, do the math. That's a few coins right there, right? And the proof silver eagle sold 109,768. There you go, 110,000. And then you got 552. And how low will it go? I mean, are these being returned because these bulk purchasers can't get the grade they want? And you know what I heard from somebody, that everything that gets returned to the United States Mint actually gets melted down. And is there an incentive to have it melted down? Well, maybe, since the mint already purchased it. I don't know. That's just pure speculation on my behalf, no doubt about it. Proof Silver Eagle sold 1,643. Let's keep on keeping on. Uncirculated Silver Eagle, yeah, 356. Proof American Gold Eagle coins. Look at that. All year long so far, these have been great numbers. Just steady increase each and every single month. 1.12, 1.04, 1.05, 2% there increase for the 10th ounce, and a 1.42 increase for the 4-coin set. Now let's keep on keeping on. Not much going on there with 2024. 2023, 2022, uncirculated gold eagles. Look at that 1.22% increase for the uncirculated gold eagle from 2025. Now here we go with the buffalo or the bison coins, whatever you like to say. It's up to you, I guess. Everybody's making your own rules. You might as well. The proof gold buffalo sold 76 for a 1.25% increase right there. Yeah, might as well say almond. It's an almond. Proof American Platinum Eagle. Was this the one that was the big fancy one that everybody was like, yeah, this has got to be the one? No, here it is. This is the one. Yeah, nobody's talking about it anymore. This is the American Palladium Eagle in the reverse proof out of West Point, New York. Sold 4 of those for a 0.1% increase. But look at this. The year before, yeah, they sold 63 of those bad boys. And I don't think this one is available anymore. That's why only 4 sold. But 63 from last year for a 1.1% increase. And there's presidential silver medals going to keep on keeping on. American Innovation reverse proof sets. That's the last product to drop this year, folks, is the 2025 American Innovation reverse proof set. Can't wait for that set. And I tell you, it was a bummer in the summer when the United States Mint actually put all of the coins, all 4 coins, in one lens. I really liked the packaging before they did that. It was so informative, so educational, and it just makes me wonder, do they really want us to be educated about some of these things? Or is it just easier? And because it's easier, does that make it better? Not necessarily. No, let's keep on keeping on. I don't know where these came from. This is the 2025 American Innovation Dollar from Texas. They sold 2 here for the 25-coin roll out of Philly, 1 out of Denver, and a 100-coin bag out of Denver. And I think those people scored there because that is an excellent, beautifully designed coin right there out of Texas. That's mission control. Right? Houston, we have a problem. 2025 American Innovation Dollars from Florida. Yeah, the 25-coin roll from Philly lost 3 there. Michigan is still selling there, I believe. I don't think they're very... look at 9,078, 9,093. I think there's a lot more of those available for the Michigan AI dollar, and then definitely more for the Arkansas. But they're getting close to being sold out. And I think next year with the American Innovation coins releases, Steve Jobs is going to be on there. We're going to have the refrigeration truck, I think. This coin program is going to get a lot more popular, I think, starting next year. And I think people are going to be looking back going, hey, that's a pretty cool set. So I think that's what's going to happen there. And I think that's going to make these even go up even more expensive than what you see. And they're really hard to get in high grades. Like a 67 is a really good grade for these coins. It's kind of remarkable, actually. Let's keep on keeping on. I think the next stop is the Native American dollar. Maybe, probably, could be. There it is. Hi, how are you? Native American dollar rolls. Look at that. 2% increase there for the 100-coin bag from Philly and 2.42% from Denver. And then look at this. The 250-coin box sold 1.13 out of Philly and then 8 of them out of Denver. That's not so bad, actually. That's a pretty big increase compared to what we typically see on these reports. So that's amazing. And then the Kennedy half-dollar rolls. Remember, these are the circulation strikes that you cannot buy anymore of the last west or left-facing Kennedy half-dollar. And then, like I said, next year, Kennedy's completely gone from it, and then he will be showing up back in 2027, but he'll be facing the right or east, and the heraldic eagle on the reverse is gonzo. We're going to have a whole different program on the reverse. It's kind of incredible. Then we have the Stacey Park Milburn quarters. Look at that. Not so bad, right? Not so bad. And remember, I think less than 2 weeks now, we're going to have Althea Gibson. She's going to be the final American Woman Quarter of the program. And we did a video about that just yesterday. Maybe it was the day before. I don't know. All the days seem to bleed into one day to the next. The mintages on those are super low. So I don't know what's going on with that, but that is quite remarkable if it does stay at 4.4, 4.6 million total Althea Gibson quarters minted. That would be remarkable, and it would do wonders for the end of the program. Remember, in a coin program, it's always the first and the last of the coin program that are the most highly sought after. Do you remember the last of the America the Beautiful quarter program featuring the Tuskegee Airmen? I know you did. That was an amazing, that was remarkable. Remember how quickly those sold out? And do you remember the 3 coin sets, the 2 uncirculated and the 1 proof? Yeah, those went for like $100 each, even though they're like $11.50. That is incredible. So could we see that for the last American Women quarter? Could be. I'm really excited to find out. Now that's going to be it for the sales. Let's go to the plus ones. I've added actually a whole new mess of information to this particular proverb, number 27, number 1. It says, "Do not boast about tomorrow, for you know not what a day may bring." And I think I've come to understand a little bit more about this. You know, I used to say plans can fall through as often they do, and I left it at that. But I think this is really more important to actually come to the understanding that plans do fail, right? But that's actually a good thing because it helps us foster humility and acts as an acknowledgement of our limited control over the future. That we must live in the present, recognize that the future is uncertain, and approach it with humility, not with boastful certainty, like, I'm going to do this. Life is like a vapor and appears briefly and then vanishes, causing us cautioning us against assuming that we have more time than we do. Yow! There you go. That's spicy right there. Now over here to 395 99.9 KOI and Coin News Radio. Try and find this radio on your dial. This is Red Hot Chili Peppers, Dosed, with lyrics on screen in dos idiomas, subtitles in Espanol and English. So there it is, folks. I want to thank you all for coming. Thanks for dropping by. Don't forget to hit that like button. And if you do like what you're going to see, sub the channel. It's absolutely free. What's not free is membership. Membership is $1.99 a month. It's not a whole lot. It's the price of a cheap cup of coffee or inexpensive cup of coffee, whatever adjective you like to use. And it really helps support the channel, gets these videos out each and every single morning. Yeah, I'm here to annoy you every morning if you like. Or to lend a calming, soothing voice to help you start your day. Either way, y'all guys have a great rest of your day. I'm going to get ready for the video for tomorrow. We're going to do that live stream. Can't wait for that coin to come out tomorrow. And remember, tomorrow, smell the flower, blow out the candle. If things get a little too, if you get a little too anxious, just try and calm down because you're going to lose IQ points if you don't stay focused. Y'all have a great rest of your day. Stacker out.